Isoroku Yamamoto was born in 1884 and died in 1943. He was Japan's most prominent naval officer during World War II, and he was also Japan's greatest naval strategist. He planned the attack on Pearl Harbor, and he was also responsible for the later attack at Midway, where the Japanese were defeated. Early mornings of December 7, 1941, sailors at the American naval base at Pearl Harbor were awoken by the roar of explosives from Japanese fighter planes. U.S. military leaders had decoded the message that a Japanese attack was underway, but did not know when this would occur. A bomb smashed the USS Arizona, causing it to explode and sink with over 1,000 people inside. Within 2 hours of the attack, the Japanese had sunk or damaged 20 ships, and more than 2,500 people were killed, and over 1,100 were wounded. The day following the attack at Pearl Harbor, President Franklin D. Roosevelt addressed Congress requesting the declaration of war against Japan and its allies. In his speech, he said that December 7th would be a date which will live in infamy. The United States has now entered World War II. May 4th, 1942, the Battle of the Coral Sea begins with a large blow. The Americans see a Japanese carrier. They dive down and sink it. The Japanese respond to this by surrounding the American ships. It's fight after fight, but neither side can view the other. All the fighting was done by aircrafts. The Americans hit another carrier, but Japan responds with 2 more blows. A bomb strikes the USS Yorktown, killing 40 men, and the USS Lexington is destroyed beyond repair. Both sides have suffered tremendous losses, but the Allies have halted Japan's momentum, and the battle ends May 8, 1942. In June 1942, Japan targets Midway Island. Allied code breakers warn the Americans about the attack. On June 4th, the Americans are hidden beyond the horizon and let the Japanese attack. But as the first Japanese planes took off, the Americans attacked the fleet and destroyed 332 planes, 4 aircraft carriers, and a support ship. Admiral Yamamoto hoped that attacking Midway would attract the remaining U.S. fleet from Pearl Harbor to defend the island. After losing 2/3 of his fleet, Yamamoto ordered his military to withdraw, and on June 7th, the battle was finally over. Douglas MacArthur's island hop strategy was to capture the weaker Japanese-controlled islands and then use those bases to seize the islands closer to Japan. By using this process, the Allies would cut off the supply lines needed in order to keep the Japanese Navy afloat. On August 7, 1942, the Battle of Guadalcanal begins. U.S. Marines storm the shore, and on August 8th, the U.S. Marines the airstrip Henderson Field. The initial attack is successful, so they send Enterprise out to sea, but this decision is fateful. The enemy ships storm through the New Georgia Sound, headed towards the American fleet. In 32 minutes, the enemy sink 4 cruisers. The remaining fleet escape, but the Japanese want to destroy Enterprise, so they wipe out the Marines on the island. On August 24th, 1942, Enterprise is attacked by a bomber that makes 3 direct hits. On Friday the 13th, the 2 sides attack each other from close range, and the Marines watch from the islands. Enterprise is repaired and heading back into the fight. They send more planes in search of the 4 remaining ships and destroy them. After 4 months, Henderson Field belongs to the Americans.